Can you please explain that?
Which one, beta?
Ma'am, the third program you gave of a pattern using recursion. We had to print one pattern using recursion. It was a string.
Substring. It was substring, beta.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. I got your question. Oh, okay, okay. Wait. Oh, I got your question now. Okay. See, it is not a pattern actually. See, it is not a pattern. Even if pattern questions come, I solve using recursion. How? Let me show it to you. The question was like this, right? A, B, C, D. If it is the input, then you have to print the substrings, of the substring is actually a bigger set, but we are just printing this much. Okay. Now, if you think, can we say that we are printing this till length minus 1, sorry, right? Is it with substring we can use, no? Yes, we don't have written. Okay, you know Vidhi does Vidhi, right? Vidhi asked the question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you know that substring function, you know this substring function in Java. In strings, we have done this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, from 0 to length minus 1, if you extract the string, it will give you this string, right? Because length minus 1 is the last character. Okay. Now, you need to create a recursive function that calls substring inside it in such a way that if the function is A, you are calling substring inside this function in such a way that you are reducing the length by 1 every time. If the first string is ABCD, then you want to print ABC, so you will reduce it by some number here, right? Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and whatever number, whatever k you are passing here, right? You always pass k plus plus or length minus plus k you pass. So it is incrementing the k and then it is calling the next function. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Like that.
Ma'am, there is also one concept of non-tail recursion.
Non-trailing recursion, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, trailing and head recursion is nothing but if you are creating the recursion, see, depends on the application better. That is why I didn't disclose that function, that concept, because if you want the recursion to be in the header part and then you want some statements to execute, it is head recursion. Okay, and if you want a function to execute something and then call a function, then it is trail recursion or trailing recursion or trailing recursion. But application specific, whenever we'll do the concept of sorting na 1000 method છે આમાંથી હું તમને 5 મેથડ કરાવીશ ને you will be understanding it કે આમાં કયું head છે કે trail છે. That is the reason I didn't disclose this at that time, because every sorting is performed using recursion only. અને આ કરશું તો જ ખ્યાલ આવશે કે એપ્લિકેશન આને નહીં સમજે head and trailing. સમજાણો?
Yes, ma'am.
This topic. Okay. If you will do quick sort, if you will do merge sort, you will automatically understand that trail છે કે ઓલું છે double sort, આ બધા sorting માં radix sort, આ બધામાં use થશે recursion. And once you will use recursion, you will put into practice, you will understand whether it is head or trail. That is the reason I closed it over here. Getting it? It is just yet to be done. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Apart from that, any questions anybody is having? Or shall we start a new topic? Ima, any question in recursion? You in the last class you were there? We called the function inside function, remember? You forgot that? Huh? Wow, how? You wait, I'll come to you then I'll explain it. Okay. Okay. Anybody else is having any questions, Vasu? Recursion, any questions? Last time you were not there? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, here, online classes, anybody is there any question understanding what is recursion, or shall we move on to the next topic? Panjwani, what about you? Pranjul? Vijay Raj?
Yes, ma'am, all clear.
Yes, Srinaran. Okay.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. What we can start today? Static kari nakhi. Okay, let us start with static. So many, concerns about why my word meaning static and everything. Okay, let us start with the keyword static. Okay, we are starting a new topic. The topic name is static, static keyword. Okay, you can create static variables, you can create static methods or functions, and you can also create static blocks. બરાબર આ બધું શું છે ને સમજાવો અને what is the use of static keyword અને એ normal variable કરતા શું different છે એ સમજાવો. ઓકે, let me હા ચેન્જ થાય પણ બધાથી ચેન્જ થાય. ઓવરરાઈડ બી થાય બતાવો. ઓકે, yes, okay, let it open. students. Okay, the connection was lost. Where were we? Can you tell me? I was speaking. I didn't recollect where. I didn't, forgot to see this. चले क्या आता याद छे? Online students.
मैम कहीं स्टार्टअप नोटिस थी।
आपने बोला स्टैटिक के बारे में बताऊंगी फिर चले गए आप।
Okay, फिर वहाँ से खत्म. Then since then it was disconnected. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. So what we are doing here is that we are okay. See, this many problems are there with the internet. See what to do with this devices and all. Okay, are you able to see my screen? In PC2, I had 28 to 30 students today. They came, and online there are only 20 or so. It is good then, like I can teach you one-on-one. Okay, here, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we are doing is, we are understanding the concept of static. For that time, I have created a class named as student, okay? And we are storing the information of student's roll number, his or her contact number, email address, the college code in which he is studying, and the college name. Okay, now we are printing the details here just like this. Okay, we're not doing anything, we're just printing the details here only. Now, if I am creating the first student, then I will have to give information regarding the roll number, contact number, email address, right? All these fields I'm giving the information over here. Same, I'm giving the information for student number 2 and my third student, okay? Now, in all these students, the college code in which he or she is studying and the college name will be same only, right? Am I correct, Panjwani? Are you able to hear me? Vidhi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Bharati is there. Okay, good. You are able to hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is breaking. I don't. Okay, fine. Now, so whatever object that I am creating for student class here, for all the objects, for all the students that are in the same university or in the same college, the college code will be same and the college name will be same. Am I correct or not at this point? Tell me. You all are studying under the same college code, right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and you all are studying under the same university name, that is Marad University, right? So, if this is the scenario where the students' information is same in this pattern, what is the problem here? You are creating the first object S1. You are creating the first object S1, you are storing the ID of the student, the name or whatever information you are storing here. Along with that, you are storing the college code and the college name also. Same for another student also, right? You are storing other information for a student, then college code and college name. Same for S3, right? If there are 80 students in the class, just like your class, then we are creating 160 extra field. See, 2 extra, because they all are having same values. Am I correct or not? They all are having same values. So even though I'm creating 80 students, I'm creating 160 extra fields here. This we don't need. This is not a proper memory management. If you know that the values are going to be same for a particular variable, you can declare that variable as static, where the picture of static comes. If you know that the variables or this particular variable, contact number, this college name and college code is same, then you means if you declare a variable as static, they will not be counted in the object's memory. A static variable is like a global memory. If there is an object S1, then contact this college name and college code, they are in its own memory. Same for S2 also. Separate memory location for college code, college name. Same for S3 also. College code, college name. But if this is the scenario currently, this is not a good scenario, okay? Means I am accessing these variables using the object name. Object name dot variable name, object name dot variable name, which means that these values, these variables are instance variables. Means they can be accessed only with the object. Are you getting the point? What is an object? Instance of the class. Correct? Are you reaching this far in this what I'm telling you here? Are you getting this much? right?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
contact number and this contact number, college name and college code, they are instance variables because you are accessing them inside using the object of the class, and they are inside the class, so they are in the property of the class. It means that every object is going to have its own memory allocation for these variables. But if you know that they can occupy a whole separate personalized block, not with a different object, but if you know that you can give them a separate memory space and you have different objects, okay, S3, and all of them can access the same value of college name and college code, and you give here the values only once, then this is known as the static memory allocation or a static variable. A static variable's memory is not in the object's memory. Mind well, they are not with the object. Objects are there in heap. Okay, they are having their own personal memory space, not in heap, of course. In class, I'm opening that later on. But whenever a variable is static, it is not in the heap's memory. It is in a separate memory location. However, all the objects can view, can see this memory. An object's memory is in a heap memory, and this is nothing but a separate block of memory for static variables, which means that they are not personal to any of the objects. Are you getting? They are common for all the objects. Are you getting the concept? What is a static variable? કેમ બનાવું એ બતાવું છું, પણ સમજાણું શું છે static variable? Pima, are you getting what is static variable? If I start speaking in Gujarati, if you don't understand, you tell me. Yes, a static variable is going to occupy a separate block of memory which is not personalized to any of the object. Object will have their own space, okay? S1 will have their own space, S2 is going to have their own space, S3 also will have their own space. It will have roll number, it will have name of a student, everything is there, but only college name and college code, they are shared. It means that all the three objects can get the same copy of this variable, and they are declared in a separate memory. કેમ બનાવવાનું એ કહું છું, but do you get the concept? What is a static variable? Static keyword. Are you getting, online students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What about you, Sushil Prasad? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you getting what we are doing here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now it is, if you understand in simple friends term, no, then if you are living in a hostel and you keep your one piggy bank, okay, and this piggy bank is the money that your friend 1 is keeping inside it, friend 2 is keeping, and friend 3 is keeping them, money inside it, and friend 1 can also take, friend 2 can also use this piggy bank money, and friend 3 can also access the piggy bank's money. Means it is a global wallet for all the 3 friends, shared among all the 3. It is nothing but static. Getting it? The simplest example. If you keep a wallet on table and everybody can access the money from that, then it is nothing but a static wallet. And the money that you are accessing, the money that you are taking out, others will also be able to see the common copy of that. There will be updated value for all the other friends also. If this is 100 rupees, if he is taking 20, then F2 knows it is only 80 in the wallet now. If F3 is taking 20 more or 30 more, then all of them know that only 50 rupees are left in the wallet. Are you getting the simple example, real life connecting example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. બધાને અપડેટેડ કોપી દેખાય છે. હા, you can even access simultaneously if you want. Still they will have the updated copy only. Every friend will going to access, is going to have the final copy only of that variable. If you have a joint account, barabar, and you are withdrawing the money from one ATM card, another person will know that, okay, balance આટલું છે મારામાં હવે ખતમ થવા આવ્યું. They will know, right? Because that balance is static variable, right? Getting it? Both should be able to see. Both the parties are able to see their final balance. Getting it? Okay. Okay. Now, coming back to our program, I am keeping. Okay. Before coming back to static, okay, I am removing everything from here. Okay. I am removing these details from here. The reason I am removing is I am going to create a constructor now. It is not a correct way to do, right? We cannot initialize the variables outside the class. For that, we do have a constructor. Okay. So I am creating a constructor student here. Okay. It is having no parameter. Why it is showing error? Okay. The spelling is incorrect. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I am creating one more student object here. Okay. I am using this to initialize the variables of the class, right? So for roll number, for contact number, for email, I am using this. You also know this keyword, so you also know how to use this keyword. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. I am initializing C with contact number. I am initializing email with E, initializing CC with college code, okay, and CN with college name, okay. Here, yes, here, college code, and sorry, yes, college
Yes.
name, okay, yes, I did it in reverse, okay, yes, this will be CC, yes, and this will be C, yes. Okay, I'm initializing them properly. Okay, done. Now, what I'm doing next? Okay, it is showing me some error here. Acha, college name is string, no? Okay, wait. It is string, no? Okay, yes, done. Right, okay. Now, for whatever object I create, I can get these values, right? Say, for example, first is default. I'm creating another two with all these values inside it, okay? We have roll number, we have contact number, we have email address, okay, and then we have a college code, and then we have college name. Same for student 2 also, okay. I am creating these values like this, right? Okay. Okay, you have the details here, right? Now, if you already know that these values are going to be same, that okay, these are 0 because first is with default. No, so it is having null and other two are having the individual values. Now, if you know that you want to keep these values static, you don't want to give these values individually like this, okay? You don't want a separate memory location for this, then you remove it from the constructor. You remove it from the constructor, okay? And you declare them as static. To declare them as static. So I'm qualifying that college code is going to be a static variable. So it is not under any object's memory. It means that college code is having its own private memory space along with college name, but it is not under S1, it is not under S2, it is not under S3. Okay. However, these three can view the details, can access the details, of course. Okay. They can check what is the value of CNC and CC. They already know the value. Still, they are in a separate memory block to initialize these variables. To initialize these variables or to give them values, there are two ways. See, currently, if I run the file, other variables are having no value, right? Other variables, these two, college code and college name, both are having no values currently. If I run it, then other values is going to be 0 only. See, this is 0 only, right? There is no value for college, this college code and college name. I haven't printed college name here. Okay, let me print college name also here. Okay, yes, there is no value for college name and college code because even though they are static, I haven't given any value in the constructor. The use of constructor is to, this will be executed when the object gets created. It means that whatever you are writing here, it is used to initialize, mind well my statements in bold and italic underline. Constructor is used to initialize the instance variable of the class. If you want to initialize the static member of the class, there is another way to do it, you batau chu. But to initialize them, we can use static block. Static block is one way, and another way is giving them in your void main itself. How? Let me show it to you. If I'm giving them in void main, right? Usually, if the variable is of type instance, then you can do something like that. Okay, as to dot, I want to give new address. Okay, I can give it like this. Okay, abc@abc.com. This is the way to give value to a static variable. If the variable is of type instance, if this is instance variable, if the variable is of type static, then you don't need this. See, you don't need object to give its value. Can you see the options here? It is not showing college name and college code. Why? Because S2 is the instance of the class student. S2 is the object, and static memory is a separate memory. It is not connected with S1 and S2. So in the suggestions also, it is not showing me. You cannot give here college code and college name. You cannot give using S2. But as they are not in the object's memory, they are in the class loader's memory. They can be accessed using class name dot variable name, college code, college name. Hence, I can give the college name like this. Okay, getting it? And I can give the college code like this. See, I can give the college code like this. Are you getting the difference between initializing the instance variable and giving a value to a static variable? Are you getting this difference, Sandesh? If the variable is of type static, then it is not in the memory of any object. No, it doesn't belong to object. It belongs to a class loader memory. But it belongs to a separate block of memory where there is no position of S1, S2, and S3 to access these variables. So we need a class name dot variable name for accessing the static variables. Now, mane EQ. If I am giving this statement here once and I am printing these details using S2, S3, and S1, or say for example, I am giving the details here also. Above only I am giving the details here something. I put two values. If I print S2, S3, and S1 all three, what is the value of college name and college code? Tell me now. Will it be null for other two? Will it be this given value? Tell me. If I am giving the values for static variables like this.
Value given in the past.
Value?
Given Marwadi or 101.
Yes, that will be the value for all the three variables, right? All the three objects, right? Yes, you are right. See, they are having the same values because they are not in the memory of the object, but they are in the memory of the class. So they are going to have, even if you initialize it only once, it is going to be accessible by all the objects. So all the objects are going to show the same variables, the value that you are given over here. Are you clear how to create a static variable? What is a static variable? How to initialize them? Yeah.
अगर इनको वापस नीचे S2 में भी कॉल करें,
हाँ, ओके,
ओवरराइट हो जाएगा.
हाँ, ओवरराइट होगा. अगर अलग वैल्यू देते हैं, चलो, I am helping you out with that. Wait, if I am giving here mu, okay, I am changing the value now. I told you no, wallet same as a Panchwani. If the wallet is same, then the updated copy will be received by all the members. Remember that statement that I told you?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So after this statement, where is it? Okay. After this means S1 and S2 both are going to have Marwadi only, but where you have executed overwritten the value, किसी ने wallet में से पैसे निकाले, तो फिर सबको नया copy दिखेगा. समझ में आ गया? Getting it? If somebody is changing in the wallet, then everybody is going to receive the updated copy only. Got it? Anjwani?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't speak, I think the internet is gone. You have to speak something so that I know, okay, the session is live. Okay. Any questions in static? How to create static variable? How to initialize them? How they are different from, object, and how they're different, having a different memory allocation. Any questions so far? Prima, any question? You understand what we are doing? Okay, good. Okay. Now I am opening one more good thing. Okay. It is not a good habit to initialize the variables like this. No. The reason is that all these variables are going to be private. We have not done that. Still, I am telling you that if you assume you have a class named account. Okay. Assume you have a class named account. Tell me this account name, this account number, balance, IFSC code is okay. This is global. I can assume that it is global. Okay. Then address of the customer, email address, contact number. All these details should be private or public. Tell me. Private, right? Similarly, the same thing you are going to do. Not putting the next session. Of course, I'm going to open that topic. All these details of a student will be definitely private. So, initializing them outside the class is illegal. It is not possible. You cannot access roll number here. You cannot give roll number here. See, as a private access in student, right? So this method of giving values to variables is not a legal way in Java. This is again illegal in Java. Even if it is a variable is a static type, even though it is not going to be like this. You are going to create private variables and it is not proper. Now, if the variable is of type private or be it non-private, doesn't matter. But whatever is type of the variable, if the variable is of type static and you want to initialize it inside the class only, not in some another third-party class. If you want to give the value of this static variable inside the class only, then I'm opening the concept of a static block. Static blocks are used to initialize the static members of the class. Okay, same as the constructor is used to initialize the instance variables of the class, same way static variables are initialized using the static block, right? So if here now I give that college code is 101 and my college name, okay, and my college name is MU, then all the objects are going to have the same value for college code and college name. Static block is used to initialize the static data members. Constructor is used to initialize the non-static data members. Are we clear? What is the use of a static block? Clear? Here, online students, are you getting what we are doing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Haji મારે વસ્તુ તમને બતાવી છે, okay? This is not mentioned anywhere. Still, I want to experiment this with you. See, when the static block is getting executed, I want to show it to you execute characterization. When will this block get executed? See this. When will this block get executed in the backend? When this is happening? When? How it is happening? When it is happening? Is it happening before the constructor because of the sequence? Sequence doesn't matter over here in programming, right? The sequence of this block doesn't matter. I'm showing you one small thing. Wait, let me, okay, default, ne? Always first. That is what I want to show it to you. Where is the default? Here, default, okay. I want to print something over here. Okay, see, if I run it, see where is hi and where is hello. The moment the class gets loaded into your JVM, the moment the class gets loaded, even before executing public static void main, even before executing this void main, even before this means what is the first statement in void main? Default constructor, right? See, even that is getting printed after the static block. What this means that the static blocks are always executed as soon as the class loads into the memory. They will not wait for you to execute the PSVM. No. Before the void main gets executed, the static block of that class will get executed. Are you getting the concept here? This is executed before the object, not because of the sequence. Doesn't matter. If I change the sequence, I am keeping it after print. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go. Static block will always get executed before. As soon as the class loads itself in the memory, it has to execute the static block, and it is the reason it is used to initialize the initial value of the static members. Are you getting the concept of static block now? Online students, are you getting it? Vidhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, but what is the use of it?
Static block is only used to initialize the static members. Beta, that is the only use of static block. That's all. There is no other use of static block. But I will tell you one more thing. This you will see it in future.
But why it is getting first priority?
How shall I put this? Okay, whenever this is an advanced example. Okay, you will see this in your unit number 7 and 8. But I'm still explaining this to you. Whenever you will be connecting the database with your program. Okay, if the database connection has to be done first, and if the connection, you know, in PHP also you do the connection, you know that, right? For using the database, you have to establish a connection. That you know, beta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So here you are going to load some driver here. You are going to load JDBC, ODBC driver here. If those drivers are, I'm giving you just an example. Okay, there are multiple uses of this. So just one example is this. If the loading of driver is not properly done in the initial block, then the database connection will not establish properly. Means you cannot update, retrieve the records in the database. So those kind of initial settings that you want to happen when the program, before it starts execution, no, you want to do something, you do it inside the static block. Getting the use of static block now.
Yes, ma'am. Now got it.
Public static void main is a function. Even before that, static block is executed. Even before executing PHM, it executes static block. So in your word main, if you are establishing the update, retrieve, and you for the database, everything, then before that you must have the connection done with the database. That is mandatory. That is to be done in the static block. Getting it, installing the drivers, connecting with a particular driver, everything will happen in static block itself. If you want to add a printer in your program, I want to add a printer now. Printer driver add karo in static block. Getting it, all those initial settings of the program that you want to do, that will happen in static block. Getting it? Okay. Okay. Any questions apart from this? Any questions for the static block? What is static variable? How to give values? Any questions? You are typing. Can't you unmute and speak? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. Then I'm opening the concept of static functions. Okay. If you are comfortable with static variable and static block, I can go to static function. Do you have the energy for that? Shall I open static function?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me open static function. I am going to remove everything. Okay, we don't need this now. What I want to show. Before this, I want to show. Okay. Yes. But no, not like that. Okay, yes, I can do it. Oh, yes, I understand how to show it to you. I now know. If I should be able to show it to you, otherwise how will you understand? That is my question. Okay. See, this is your first class, right? It is your main class. Okay. I am printing here something just for fun. I am printing here hi. I am running this. It is going to print. I want to execute first. Yes, I want to execute first. It is printing here hi. Now I am opening the static function to you. Okay. If I am opening the static function, I am showing you the use of static function here itself with two word mains. The reason I am showing it is going to solve two of my purposes. That is the reason I am showing you this example. See, if you want to call a static function, just like static variables, as they are not in any object's memory, as I told you, no, this college name and college, but they are in a separate memory block. Similarly, all the static functions also will be in a separate memory block only. They will not be inside a particular object name. Okay, they will not be inside a particular object's memory. So they are in the class's memory. So I will need the class name to execute it. The purpose, the reason I am showing you this is I am using the class name to call void main here, and void main is static, right? Right. I am calling here another class's static function. Just the name happens to be main, but it is nothing but a static function, and I am passing here some string array as argument. Okay, let me create one string array over here. Okay, I am creating a string array over here. Okay, and I am passing this value here. Okay, I am creating a string array here, and I am passing this array over here. What I am doing is simple. From your first class's void main, I want to call and execute another class's void main. So to execute this void main, as this function is a static type, I can call class name dot function name, just like class name dot variable name in the previous example. Same way you can call a class name dot function name. Now here, as your main is a special function, it uses the string argument as parameter. I am passing string argument. I want to pass string array as argument. I am passing it here officially. Okay. Now this function is simply printing the values that are received over here. So I am simply printing that whatever values this args is going to carry. No, I am simply printing these values. Okay. I am simply printing these values. See what I am doing here. I will execute the first class is void main. When I execute this, it prints hi. Step number 1. Step number 2. Creates the array of size 4, and I'm calling another class's static function void main, right? When I'm calling this function, I'm passing this array as the argument because this is receiving array as argument, right? So I'm passing it as an argument. Once it receives the argument, I'm simply printing the arguments. Are you getting what I'm doing here?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I run this, if I run the first class, it is definitely going to print all these values, right? Including the high keyword over here. And then I'm passing this. This question is solving two of my purposes. The first purpose is, if somebody says that you cannot call main inside main, it is not possible. Main can only be called by the JVM. You cannot call it. No, you can do it. Okay. Your initial main is definitely called by your JVM, but you can place a call to another main, because main is just a simple function here. It is just a simple function. Okay. You can call it like simple function only. It is my first purpose. Second purpose is, as this main is static, I am using class name dot function name. Similarly, as class name dot college name in the previous example. Getting the use of static functions, how to access it? Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
So હવે આને use ક્યાં કરવાના? What is the use of static functions? If you already created the instance functions, what is the use of static functions? Can you tell me what is the use of static functions? Why do we use it? Why do we create them? Can you tell me?
मैम अगर जैसे पूरे कॉलेज का डेटाबेस हो
Yes.
तो उसमें कॉलेज नेम ये सब बार बार रिपीट ही होगा ना?
No, correct. Then it is static variable. But what about static function, Panchwani? That I'm asking. Why do we use static function? That I'm asking. If you are,
we use static function because it can be called directly by class.
yes, exactly.
There is no need to make the instance.
Correct. If you make the instance, there is another memory location, for instance, right? One more
Yes,
object you create, the more memory the heap will occupy, right? And that is the only reason that main is static. Main is static because of these reasons only, because you don't have to create the object of first two in order to access main, right? One good reason, very good, yes. If you know that your function is not dependent on any of the object, remind my words, check my words, what I'm telling. If you know that a function is not dependent on any of the object in the class, it is independent of the objects, then you create a function as static. If your function, the computation that you want to do, is not dependent, the answer of that function or the logic of that function is not dependent on any of the object of the class, it is free from the objects, then you create the function as static. I'll give you an example. If you are creating the factorial program, right? You are creating a function void factorial, right? And this, okay, and you are creating one more function void print student details, okay? Then, or student details, okay? Then this function student details, I can say that it is dependent on a particular student. Am I correct or not? This depends on one of the object of class student, right? But in the same class, if you have a function for factorial, it is independent of any student object, right? Then you create this function as static, right? Getting the difference of when do we create static function? If you think that our function, Gujarati ma કહું છું, આ function કઈ ક્લાસના એને લેવા દેવા જ નથી યાર, આ ખાલી કમ્પ્યુટેશન જ કરે છે અને કોઈ ઓબ્જેક્ટ ઉપર ડિપેન્ડ નથી કરતું, then you do it, make it as static. Getting when do you have to create static functions? Are you getting this thing? What about online students? Are you getting what we are doing here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions in what is static variable, static functions? How do we create static block? What is the use of static block? Any questions? You raise your hand. No questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, why static block is always executed before main?
Okay, whenever your class loads in the memory of JVM, there is a separate memory for class loader where, whenever the program executes, right? Whenever you compile your program and whenever you run your program, right?
Yes,
whenever you are compiling the program and whenever you are exactly running your program at that time, your program gets loaded by the help of class loader. The use of class loader is to load the predefined libraries also, okay? These predefined dependent libraries like scanner or whatever import statements you are using here, or maybe you are using packages, different packages. That is the task of class loader to enable the use of this, to convert this import statement into usable statements by the class. It is the task of class loader. While it is doing that, it knows that this class is going to depend on this scanner. So it has to enable scanner over here, right? In backend, actually scanners dot class file, the compiled class of scanners class file is replaced in the backend. Whenever you are using scanner, it is the compiled version of the scanner class, right? Because if it is not compiled, then the compiler will have to compile it again, right? So whenever you are compiling your class, it is using the compiled version of the predefined class. At the same time only, it checks for the static blocks. However number of static blocks are there, initially it executes them first. I even forgot to show you one more thing. Even if the static block are, even there are multiple static blocks, even if you are creating multiple static blocks, okay, then all these are executed in a sequence. Say, for example, you have multiple static blocks like this, okay, then again they are executed in a sequence only, okay. This is happening in a sequence. See, what I'm showing you is, if there are multiple static such blocks, then again it is again, executed in a sequence only, okay. See, even though the sequence is changing, even though you keep the third high, so that is sequence. Even if it is outside after void main, it is always picked up first, because the compiler knows that the use of static block is to initialize something, to preload something, to use something in the class which is you are going to use it future in the public static void main. To preload something in the class, that is the use of static block. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Anybody having any questions?
Ma'am,
Yes.
in backend, these Java libraries are stored in static blocks.
Java libraries are not stored in static blocks, but
In backend.
you can in which, can you tell me again?
In backend, because they are executed first.
Yes, you are telling this libraries. This.
Yes, ma'am.
No, they are not static. No. If I want to show it to you, how shall I show it? Okay, you know this math class, right? Math class is all the function for static. You know that.
Yes, ma'am.
Class static नहीं हो सकता. Static you can apply even in variables, in functions and in blocks. Functions can be static. Yes, functions can be static. But even though the function is static, like power is a static function, right? You can only access it when you call it. Unless and until you don't call, it will not touch the power's body. હવે તું કોલ કરો હવે એક્ઝિક્યુટ થશે પાવર, સમજાણું? પણ સ્ટેટિક બ્લોક એવો એક જ ફાઇલ બ્લોક છે જે પ્રીલોડિંગ માટે યુઝ થાય. પણ હું તને કહું છું, છોકરી કોણ વિધિ છે ને, વિધિ, you are asking me the question. Vidhi, I am going to show this to you, but not today. You can load drivers in the sense you can use predefined classes over here, but these classes are not static beta. Some of them may have static function, but a class can never be static. Getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Similarly, you are already using math class, right? It is static function. You are okay with that. But scanners functions all are not static. See, even though you are accessing it now properly, right?
Ma'am, but math library is static.
Math class is not static. Math class is the functions and variables are static. But the class can never be declared as static. Getting it?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Function static છે જો બેટા. Class static નથી. Class તો public જ છે. કાં તો કાંઈ નથી તો કાંઈ નથી હાલે. ખાલી default access છે ક્લાસમાં. ક્લાસમાં સ્પેસિફાયર ક્યાં આવી શકે? પ્રાઇવેટ આવે ભાઈ, બરાબર? પછી પબ્લિક આવી જશે, ડિફોલ્ટ આવી જશે, પ્રોટેક્ટેડ આવી જશે, બરાબર? આ બધા થઈ ગયા ક્લાસની ક્વોલિફાયર. પણ વેરિયેબલ, ફંક્શન અને બ્લોક આ ત્રણ સ્ટેટિક હોય છે. હવે સમજાણું?
હા, સમજ પડી.
Okay. I'll take the attendance. I have another class also, and then I'll leave the session. Okay. Yes, Ayush, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Rohan? Vipin? Manav?
Yes, ma'am.
Anuj? Riddhi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yashraj? Josh? Mansi? Nikita?
Present, ma'am.
Manthan?
Hello, ma'am. Anuj present.
Why are you not speaking? Anuj?
Present, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Smith? Smith Kumar? Devansh?
Present, ma'am.
Divyajit? Yashang,
Yes, ma'am.
Dipen, Tushar,
Present.
Yash, Manyar,
Present, ma'am.
Parmar,
Present, ma'am.
Udayraj, Rishabh, Hivanchi,
Present, ma'am.
Janvi,
Present, ma'am.
Bhanuchali,
Present, ma'am.
Ashwardhan.
Ma'am, Divyajit is present. AI3.
Divyajit, you are there.
His mic isn't working.
Okay, fine. Harshvardhan, Vijay Raj is there. Okay. Dadhania,
Present.
yeah.
Present, ma'am.
Bharti is there. Avinash, Pranjul is there. Limbani, Arjun, Maharana, Tanmay Raj, Dinesh Prasad, Sushil Prasad, Dhruvi,
Present, ma'am.
Dhruvi, Naitik.
Yes, ma'am.
Naitik is there. Somebody was there. Dharmik,
Present, ma'am.
Mohammed.
Present, ma'am.
Yeah. Mute yourself. Your voice. Okay. Yes. Krunal,
Present, ma'am.
Arpit.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
27.
But wait. Let me finish. Arpit, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Meghna,
Yes, ma'am.
Yash,
Present.
Bhavdeep is there.
Yes, ma'am.
Saif Samir Alam,
Present, ma'am.
Isha,
Present, ma'am.
Vibhusha, Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
Viplani,
Present.
Aditya Jain, Jay Dakan, Priyank,
Present, ma'am.
Tushar,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita,
Present, ma'am.
Girish.
Present, ma'am.
2 minutes, madam. Just yeah. Okay. Patik,
Yes, ma'am.
enrollment number 62, 3, 61.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 61, 59, 60, 63. Ima, you are present. Okay, 65,
Yes, ma'am.
73. Mohammed, are you there? Darshan,
Yes, ma'am.
Jaideep.
Present.
Yes, Riti is here. Vaishali, Pasu is here. Kunal, Aliwad. Done. Yes, you all can leave the session.
Ma'am, 827.
Ma'am, AI46.
46.
Ma'am, 827.
Ma'am.
Okay, Tanmay Raj, I am marking you as present. You can leave the session. Saif Ali, you are present.
Yes, ma'am.
You are sleeping in the class.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, you can leave the session. Rishabh, I have already marked you as present, beta. I have marked you as present.
Ma'am, AI49 is also there.
AI?
49.
Vibhusha is there? Okay, she is there. Yes. Okay, you go. I have another session. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.